What's up YouTube? Welcome to Cars, Cost, and Technology. Today I'm going to be doing a quick video on 5 things I hate about my C6 Corvette. I'm also making a 5 things I love about my C6 Corvette video, so make sure you check that out as well. I do want to say all in all, I have really enjoyed this car. Anything that I say in this video is not meant to take away from the car as a whole. It's a pretty incredible car, really great value. So definitely want to put that out there before I jump into these few small things that I've noticed throughout owning it for the last year. So let's get started. So my number one complaint or thing that I quote unquote hate about this particular Corvette, it could be all Corvettes, I've heard this before. I guess I just didn't think it was quite to this extent, but it's got to be the squeaky interior. It just feels like a very low quality pieces and parts. They all rattle and squeak, especially while driving. If you're on even a semi-bumpy road, it's very squeaky and rattly. It does not sound very well built. It's just kind of discouraging, if you're trying to get into a good drive or have fun with a passenger in the car and you hear everything squeaking and rattling like it's going to fall apart. It's discouraging. It's too bad that they couldn't have used better components or made sure the fitment was better overall. So gotta be my number one complaint for sure. So next on my list of things I dislike about my particular C6 Corvette is the transmission. Now obviously you can see here it is an automatic transmission. I know how most people feel about a automatic sports car. I just happened to get a really good deal on this one and couldn't pass it up. I do also daily drive it, so sometimes I enjoy having the automatic transmission, but as a whole for faster driving or anything like that, this particular C6 is a 2005 and this has the 4-speed automatic transmission, and 4 speeds is it's just very hard to find a perfect gear. First gear revs out pretty quickly, it shifts up in a second. You find yourself driving in second or third most of the time for fuel economy, but just kind of difficult to find that sweet spot where you can get power out of the gear without feeling like you're kind of stuck in an awkward, either too high RPMs, too low RPMs. It's never really fine-tuned, and I feel like if I had the 6-speed auto with the paddle shift or 6-speed manual transmission, I'd prefer that a lot more over this 4-speed automatic. So if you watched my 5 things I love about my C6 Corvette video, you know that some of the cool technology packed into the car made it to the list as something I really love. Well, unfortunately, technology is also part of what I hate about this car. Mainly here in the radio or infotainment system. It's just kind of boring. Looks more like a work truck infotainment system and radio. I really wish that they could have at least made a little bit larger display, auxiliary cord or port, Bluetooth, something like that. Just flared up a little bit. Now, granted, this car is a 2005. I know it's a sports car, so it's not meant to have a whole lot of technology and features packed in. It's more performance oriented, but still kind of boring here. You really wish that there could be something more going on, look a little more premium or exciting. It just looks very basic, and like I said, kind of straight out of a work truck or a low-end cheap sedan. So not my favorite, but I know there are options to change it. I just prefer to keep my cars original, so it's too bad that they decided to go that route. Even the upgraded Corvette packages with the navigation system use a very kind of dated and pixelated looking system that's not really something I would like either. Neither of them look particularly good. So this next item on my list of things I hate about my C6 Corvette is not unique to the Corvette in general. It's pretty much every sports car. And the problem with using a sports car as a daily driver, and this is more my fault than it is the car's, is the front end is just so low. It makes it really difficult to comfortably drive to and from work, in and out of your driveway. Very basic things become a huge challenge, knowing that you have very little clearance and will most likely scrape your front end if you're not careful and have the right approach angle. So it's just one of the downsides to, like I said, driving a sports car as your daily driver. So I could do without that. So the last item on my list of things I hate about my C6 Corvette has to be the seats. If you've watched pretty much any Corvette review online, you have heard complaints about the seats. Unfortunately, I can't say that I disagree with them. The leather quality seems to be somewhat poor. You know, that my seats are conditioned and cleaned, and I don't slide onto them, or you put a lot of pressure on them while driving, but it just seems to be wrinkling here. I would imagine they will be cracking sometime in the near future, and granted they're getting pretty old, but I feel like the rest of the vehicle and the seats, all the other interior pieces show no signs of wear whatsoever. So for this seat to look so wore out, like it's getting ready to rip or start splitting, it just, you can tell it's obviously not exactly the best quality leather. They're also not very comfortable or supportive. Everyone has their own opinion on that. I guess that's more personal preference than it is a fact or a known issue. But it seems to be pretty widespread that people complain about the Corvette seats, and like I said, I would have to agree. Alright guys, so that wraps up my list of the 5 things I hate about my C6 Corvette. And I think hate is a really strong word for any of these complaints. They're more minor dislikes, to be honest with you. I just figured we would title the video that, since it's a very common theme on YouTube. But all in all, all of these things that I brought up, none of them would stop me from buying the car again. Certainly would not discourage anyone else from buying the car just because of these things. It's just good to know what you're getting into. Some of these things, they can be pretty discouraging if you are expecting much better, and then you get the car and realize that. So it's good to know up front some of the problems, and if you were thinking about purchasing a Corvette, you're welcome to ask any questions in the comments. There are other little quirky things about the car that I probably could bring up, but nothing really major enough that I think would be something that people as a whole would agree, that's a problem or is annoying. These are the major things that have stood out to me. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you're stopping in for the first time, please like and subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.